TikTok, what up? What up? Facebook, what up? IG, what up? YouTube, what up? What up? Hope you guys had a phenomenal week on purpose. It's your boy, Coach White. Uh, we are going to go back to the article that we were on last week so we can talk about self awareness and why you guys' buttons are being pushed so much, why you are allowing your buttons to be pushed. So, looking forward to it. All right, couple of quick announcements. Again, the gallery that tells your story. Check us out on YouTube. Check out the content. Give us some feedback. That will be much appreciated. And if you're in here on TikTok, I think if you go to my page, my daughter, shout out to Michaela Grace, my precious princess. I think she put a link in there where you can just click the link, take you right to YouTube, and you can check out the content. Forgive me. Every time I get on here, I say I'm going to upload the new episode. I have about 10 episodes that I have not uploaded yet because I keep allowing life to distract me. So please forgive me. So you'll see some old content. The videos, for the most part, are consistent as I post twice a week. Um, so you'll see Bible study videos and you'll see prior coach class videos as well. But yeah, check out the gallery. It tells your story on YouTube. Definitely want you guys' feedback. Also, always promoting the books. I think the one I promoted today, if you follow me on TikTok and Facebook, you might see it in the shorts, or you might see it on my actual page as a reel. I think I'm saying that right. I did, and it didn't. So that is available on Amazon and Kindle. Also, The Invisible Marriage is available on Amazon and Kindle. That's right, your boy is a 3-time author. God be praised. And Forsaking All Others is also on Amazon and Kindle. So check those out. They don't cost that much, y'all, on purpose. So I want to get you guys feedback. Your feedback is very important to me. All right, so check it out. Shoot me a DM or whatever. Let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, you'll find that Aiden is the main character for The Invisible Marriage and Forsaking All Others because that's a part of his journey. So, yeah, check that out, man. All right. And then 50 Shades of She, my wife's really dope poetic novel. If you like poetry, if you like really deep poetry, then you should check this out. I mean, this is priceless. It's a little pricey, but check it out. Give us some feedback. It's about her, you know, about her experiences with domestic violence in the past. She talks about coming from generations of domestic violence and how it played a role in her psyche and how she chose her men. And poetry, by God's grace, was her way of escape. All right, so yeah, check that out. It's real deep. 50 Shades of She. Um, we have Bible studies on 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 12 to 1 every Sunday. We go live on TikTok and on Facebook as well, on YouTube. And then I send a replay to YouTube and Facebook at 8 p.m. on Sundays for the Bible study that occurred at 12. Tonight is Coach Class for Coach. So if you are a coach or if you aspire to become a coach, these classes are for you. Or if you are a client, if you are my client, you should be in here anyway, right? Getting some of this food. If you would like to become a client, this be a good class for you. 3 pillars that I coach from. The first is self-talk. We've covered that unit in about 6 weeks. And now we're covering your relationship with you. And the subunit is called self-awareness. All right. And we also have merchandise for sale. A gallery that tells your story t-shirts. We have John 8 and 24 t-shirts. And we have self-love over self-destruction t-shirts are available. So send me a DM. You can call me at 443-785-7010. Or you can shoot me a text at 443-762-6010. All right. So those are the announcements for today. Thanks for checking in. GG salute. Thanks for checking in. Who else we got here? Casper family, salute. Thanks for checking in. Lockwood, thanks for checking in. Rosemary, thanks for checking in. Monica, thanks for checking in as well. All right, so those are all the announcements. I think my brother is here from the same mother. So I'm going to let him in. What's up, my guy?
Oh, you can hear me now, bro?
Yeah, loud and clear, champion. I'm going to turn you up, too.
I didn't know what was going on.
Got you on 150. How you doing, man? How was your week?
I'm good, bro. Grateful. You know,
Yes, sir.
gratitude is my everyday attitude.
Love it. Love it,
So I
love it.
stay there with it, bro. Stay
Yes.
there with it, man, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I'm
good.
How you feel?
Man, look, I'm still smiling, brother. Through it all, man. Monica, we just keep smiling.
Through it
Through it
all.
all. Because listen, that's what we can control. We can control our smile. There ain't too much
That's
more
it.
we can control.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's garbage. That's all you can control.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
all you can control out here.
Yes, sir. All right. So let's go to the quote of the day. Let me share my screen. There we go. Pretty straightforward. The quote of the day, I'll read it 3 times for you guys. The quote of the day is: the problem with assumptions is that we believe that they are truth. The problem with assumptions is that we believe that they are the truth. So lately, I've been talking to my clients in my group, my groups on Tuesday morning and afternoon, about how we fill the holes in stories based upon our experiences, based upon our beliefs or assumptions, without getting the facts. And every time we do that, we create a lose-lose situation. So what happens is, let's say we get into an argument with somebody, or we're confronting somebody, or somebody's confronting us, or whatever, and assuming that we know the person, right? In the scenario, this picture I'm painting, what will happen is we will fill the holes of the story or of the scene with our past experiences with that individual. And we'll say things like, all they're going to say is, you fill in the blanks, or all they're going to do is, and you fill in the blanks. But the truth of the matter is, that's the lie that we tell ourselves because we don't know what they're going to do until they do it. We don't know what they're going to say until they say it. But we'll use all of our past experiences and we'll create this narrative in the present that's all based off of a false assumption. And it'll affect us emotionally because, again, it starts with your thoughts. Your thoughts impact the way you feel. The way you feel impacts your self-talk. So we start telling ourselves out loud this lie that we believe to be true, painting a false narrative instead of asking a person direct questions so we can get direct answers and we can fill the holes in with truth about what they said, about what they did, things of that nature. So this quote falls in line with what we're going to be covering today in our lesson. The problem with assumptions is that we believe that they are the truth. All right. So that's the quote of the day. I'll stop sharing now. I don't think I'll be using that anymore. All right. So let's dive right into the article of the day. Man, I love this article. So I'm gonna share my screen again. The title is Disarming Your Buttons. This is part 4. It's about how to not be provoked. Brother's facial expression it says a lot right now.
I thought that was your man for a second. I didn't know who that. Like, when it popped up.
Yeah, right.
I thought.
I mean, it looked like Dr. Leon Seltzer with glasses, maybe a younger version. I don't know, but it's interesting. Yeah, facial expression says a lot. So the subtitle is "How Can You Tell Whether Negative Assumptions Make Sense?" So then it reads, "Stopping trigger thoughts." Trigger thoughts include all your false assumptions and beliefs that lead to getting your buttons pushed. All right. Almost inevitably, these thoughts involve logical fallacies. Logical fallacies. I'm going to stop sharing here. I'm going to pull up my chalkboard so we can look at the definition of a logical fallacy. All right. Logical fallacy is an error in reasoning that undermines the logic of an argument. It occurs when invalid arguments or irrelevant points are introduced, guess what? Without evidence. All right, so that is a logical fallacy. And it has a pretty significant impact on how we're triggered, how our thoughts are triggered, and how we respond to triggering thoughts. All right. All right, let's check this out. Let's go back to the article. I want to shine a light on that for a second. Feel free to interject at any point. All right, here we go. So we looked at logical fallacies. So internally refuting them, then being the logical fallacies or the triggering thoughts, isn't really a matter of deluding yourself through glib affirmations, but questioning the unwarranted notions that may in the past have led you to lose. Coaching is all about creating win-win situations. All right. And what we're describing with these logical fallacies, they're creating for you lose-lose scenarios. I just got finished saying this, and this is something that we got to do because we are in the business of helping people to self-improve, and we are our best clients in the sense that the person that we look in the mirror needs the training the most. So I'm challenging all my clients, just as I'm challenging myself, is to take every thought captive. Every thought that you have, thoroughly examine every thought and ask yourself the question, where does this come from? Is it true? Is this coming from some kind of past experience? Does it fit the context of what's going on in the present? Or is this thought going to cause me to project onto other people? Take every thought captive. Thoroughly examine in this work of self-improvement. I challenge you, as I am challenging myself, to examine every single thought that you have before you respond. All right? That's my challenge. So the doctor says, below I list 7 types of distorted trigger thoughts that can prompt you to overreact. If you're able to change these irrational thoughts, listen to this, the distressing emotions deriving from them should change as well. Better, the things that formerly provoked you will no longer do so once you've managed to bring a new understanding to them. So he's going to give us different types of button pushing thoughts, as well as what we can say to ourselves to effectively combat them. All right, number 1, shoulds. Shoulds. The logical fallacy here, listen to this, is that your shoulds are somehow universal. That what is intelligent, reasonable, or moral for you ought to be for others as well. Aptly put, shoulds are your values and needs imposed on someone with different values and needs. So others are likely to be persuaded that they're wrong or bad simply because they haven't lived up to your own self-interested standards. Consequently, if your revised self-talk, or in your revised self-talk, you might say such things as this. So instead of going down a rabbit hole, we should be saying things like, people don't do what I think they should, just what's rewarding or reinforcing for them. Or, I can't expect people to act the way I would act. Or, just like me, people do what they're compelled to. Or, I really can't blame others for focusing on their own needs, wants, or values. So those are the alternatives in the event that you're going down a should rabbit hole and being triggered. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool enough. Number 2, this is for us, and again, this is not for anybody else but us. if we feel entitled, number 2 is for you. This is called the entitlement fallacy. This misconception is grounded in the belief, listen to this, that if you really want something, it's only right that you have it. And to comprehend one possible origin of this fallacy, he has another post that he directs the audience to called Child Entitlement Abuse. Now, the entitlement fallacy screams to me that the little kid in us, the little child in us, is standing up while the adult in us is taking a seat. Who are we to be so entitled that we have this grounded belief that if we really want something, it's only right that we have it? That in and of itself is very immature. It says such thinking leads you to get your buttons pushed whenever others take exception to your righteous expectations and demands. For such demands you may not feel at all reasonable to them, or for such demands may not feel at all reasonable to them, may unjustifiably be asking them to relinquish their own wants, needs, limits, or boundaries. If somehow this fallacy has become part of your mental programming, here's the alternative. You would say things like, this is your self-talk. Though I may have the right to want something, others have the right to say no. Or, my desiring something doesn't mean that others are obliged to provide it for me. Or, I have my wants and needs, and I need to respect that others do as well. All right? So if you struggle with entitlement, then that's for you. Number 3, this one is for people who are triggered by things not being fair. The fallacy of fairness. Here the falsehood is that there exists a single standard of fairness and surprise. It's your own. The fact, however, the doctor says, is that fairness is a completely subjective concept based on individual wants, needs, principles, expectations, and values. In short, your definition of what's fair is finally self-serving. So if your buttons have gotten pushed in the past because you thought you were being treated unjustly, here are some things you might say to yourself before your next encounter with someone whose notions of fairness may conflict with your own. This is what your self-talk should be. My notions of what's fair don't have any more authority than anyone else's. Or their needs are just as legitimate and meaningful to them as mine are to me. Or what I see as fair is mostly just a reflection of my own preferences. All right? So that'll help with the self-talk for those that look in their mirror and are triggered by things that aren't fair. All right? Number 4, the fallacy of change. The doctor says this idea relates to the unwarranted belief that you can change another's behavior if you just work at it hard enough. Where are my sisters right now? If you're on TikTok, I need you to come in the room. Huh? This is for all the people that think you can change somebody. Isn't that interesting? You have a hard enough time changing yourself. This is for the people that think that by nagging somebody to death, you can change them. This is for the people that think, and I hear parents say this all the time, whether it's a parent talking about their significant other, or in most cases, a parent talking about their child. When they say things like, if I raise my voice, or they don't do it, whatever it is, unless I'm raising my voice. Well, guess what, mama? You are just now, or have been, teaching your child that when they get older and get into a relationship, that it's okay for their significant other to raise their voice at them. And then you're teaching them, possibly, that when their significant other raises their voice at them, then they move. Then they do whatever it is. That's like the prompt. The raising of the voice is the prompt for them to get moving. Not what you want to teach. Not what you want to teach. But let's back up a little bit. Let's digress and talk about the people that think they can change people. This one is for you. The fallacy of change. This idea relates to the unwarranted belief that you can change another's behavior. But the fact is that people change only when it's rewarding for them to do so. And additionally, when they're capable of it. So to keep your buttons from getting pushed by others who seem unwilling to cooperate with your well-meaning directives, think of saying to yourself, this is what your self-talk should be. People only change when they're ready to. No sense trying to put pressure on them, or the support that I'm getting is all they're capable of giving me right now. Or if I want this person to change, I have to figure out how they would be more motivated to change, how change would benefit them. All right? And that brings us to the quote. Conditional assumptions. This illogical thinking, says the doctor, here pertains to your gratuitously assuming that because the other person disappointed you, they must not care about you. And once you arrive at such an unverified conclusion, you'll start to feel upset, primed to react negatively to them. In such instances, here are some more rational, corrected thoughts to consider. So if this is you, this is what your self-talk should sound like. And notice, before I read this, I said this before, and I'll say this again. Your self-talk has to be the superhero for your thoughts and your emotions. And if it isn't, then that is a lose-lose scenario. So every point that the doctor is hitting on in this article is related to us changing our self-talk. So this is for you. If you make assumptions, your self-talk should be, I need to realize that my disappointment with them doesn't necessarily mean that they don't care about me. It's not that they don't love me. It's just that their particular needs right now don't coincide with mine. Or, sure, I'm disappointed, but they still have the right to act according to their own needs. All right. Number 6, assumed in. Where my sisters at? Come in the room. Come on in the room. Assumed intent, mind reading. The fallacy here is in assuming that if another person's behavior causes you distress, they must have intended to make you feel this way. And attributing negative motives to their behavior because, after all, it did hurt or disturb you is really what's pushing your buttons. That is, similar to the other irrational assumptions and beliefs I've also described, it's your subjective interpretation of others, rather than their behavior per se, that finally makes you lose your cool. So what you need to start doing in your head, self-talk, is formulating such what he calls pre-confrontation thoughts. Here goes one. I won't assume anything. I need to check this out. That's pre-confrontation thought number 1. Number 2, I'm not going to speculate about why they did that. Or no mind reading. I'll just ask them what they had in mind when they said what it was that so annoyed me. This is, you can kill all this by being straightforward with people. You just ask a direct question. Don't read their mind and try to project. Just ask a direct question. Mind readers are something else, man. The last one is called magnifying. If you look in your own mirror and you are a dramatic person, this is for you. And it says, if perversely you actually want to let someone or something upset your equilibrium, all you have to do is negatively exaggerate the significance of that person's words or the event that just occurred. Tell yourself that it's horrible, it's disgusting, it's outrageous, it's terrible, or catastrophic, and your buttons will get hammered every time, the doctor says. So to distress yourself when you're beginning to get upset and need to address the other person clear-headedly, think first of rehearsing to yourself such messages as, here's the first one, and this requires being honest with yourself and saying things like, this is unpleasant for me, but it's not that awful either. Or, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. This thing probably isn't anywhere as bad as I'm assuming. Or, I'm not looking at this accurately. Yes, it's inconvenient, but it's hardly anything to go ape over. All right? So that's magnifying. So I'll stop sharing for a moment and get back to my chalkboard. This is I just wrote a few things down here. This is 7 types, or what I just covered are 7 types of distorted triggering thoughts that can cause you to overreact. And all of it really, like I said, step by step was about giving you options or giving us options to change our self-talk, so that we don't overreact. All right. So that's it for today, man. So I just wanted to cover that. I thought this was a really, really, really good article. So I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment, chop it up with you, good brother. Let me give a couple shout outs here for people that joined in the live. Shout out to Evan. Salute. Thank you, good brother. Thanks for checking in. Let me know if you guys want to jump on. Anytime, still figuring out how to work this TikTok thing. Felipe, salute. Lawrence, salute. Maya, salute. Let's see. Who else? Who else we got here? Eli, salute. Thanks for checking in. Nona, salute. Thanks for checking in. Claude, thanks for checking in. Wavy Jim, thanks for checking in. Emily, thanks for checking in. Appreciate you guys. Cookie, thanks for checking in. April, thanks for checking in as well. More and more to thank. But I really appreciate everybody that's on. Anytime that you guys want to jump in and be a part of this, let me know. I don't know how you do that with TikTok. I don't know if it's a raising of the hand. I don't know what it is, brother. But what you think about this, man? Anything come to mind for you as we cover those key points today?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I just been reflecting on. A lot of it spoke to me at the moment. So I'm just trying to reflect on it. Because I think we talked about it last week. Was that like on the last couple of weeks been just trying to navigate and deal with my child's mother and all that and that situation. So a lot of that was speaking to me. I'm just trying to like come to grips or come to terms with like I can't control what's going on in that crib, in that house. And I ain't gonna lie and say it ain't been tough. It's been a battle because it's just like my daughter's involved. You know what I mean? So it's just like I've been battling with it, bro. Just like I can't control it. So it's like, all right, Jamal, you gotta stop expecting. You know what I mean? Um, Stop expecting. It's just been a battle, bro. It's been a battle, bro.
Yeah.
It's been a battle. So, cause it's kind of like I don't know if I feel like I'm just like kind of like I gotta be like just like throw the towel in, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like throwing the towel in on my daughter, but I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating at some points. It's sad at some points.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like you said, I'm frustrated because she's not doing what I would like her to do at the end of the day. You know what I mean? To be real. I just can't. I mean, she don't see it the way I see it.
Yeah.
She don't see it the way I see it, obviously, or she just don't. I mean, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I just gotta come. I gotta come to terms with that for my own sanity. I gotta just come to grips with that. So it's been a challenge for the last couple of weeks.
Understand.
So all that a lot of the article that was just I was just listening and it's like all right how like what I gotta do to so I can just go forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's been something else. It's something else.
Listen, I get it. And be encouraged, man. There's a peace that will eventually come when boundaries are identified, right? I encourage everybody to have boundaries, even when it comes to parenting and co-parenting, because, like you said, think about it. And we all about creating win-win scenarios, right? You're losing right now. And when I say that, what I mean specifically is there's a lot of stress or a certain degree of stress that comes along with not having influence when your child or our children, and to be inclusive, are not with us. So we're losing because we're going down this rabbit hole of I don't agree with the way our children are being parented when they're with the other parent. When in all actuality, what we know, the truth that we know is that we can't control what goes on over there. And because we know that to be true, let's build on that truth and then create a boundary and say, you know what? I'm going to do all I can with our children while they're with us and pour into them as much as we can, as I can. And then when they're not with us, I'm going to have to trust someone that is greater than myself with them. And this is where your belief comes in. Whether it's God, whether it's ancestry or whatever it is. Because something that's more powerful than you, that is everywhere at the same time, that is immaterial, that is immutable, that is all powerful, all knowing, can control those things. So boundaries allow us to stay in our box as parents and say, you know what? I'm going to control what's going on in the season with my child. And then when they're gone, in my case, Lord, I just give them to you. They're with you anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and give them to you, and I'm going to trust you because I can't control what goes on over there. And once that begins to happen more frequently, there's a peace that comes along with that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm with you. I get it. And again, that's why I always encourage people to establish boundaries. And I'll tell you, with full transparency, your niece and nephew, they're 15 and 14 now. So, different stage of life. But what I do is I say, look, Baltimore is Baltimore, and PG is PG, right? If you need something, let me know while you're in Baltimore. And I have it set up where we kind of sort of getting off topic, but it's cool. I have it where I have them working, right, for me, different projects and things of that nature. So that and I'm teaching them budgeting and finance and financial literacy at their age. So if they say, hey, and this is a bone for you parents out there as well. If they want something that costs $100, then they have to have $200 in their account. Because what I'm teaching them is money doesn't go out until money comes in, right? So what I'll have them doing is, okay, you want so-and-so or you need so-and-so when you're in PG County? All right, that's cool. These are a number of tasks that I need to have complete. Choose one, and I'll pay you $25 an hour for that task. So they end up, and they don't usually work 4 hours. He used to work like 2 or 3 hours, right? Giving them $100. Then they come back, they work again. They got 200. Then they can take 100 with them to PG. But I make it clear to them, I love y'all. But if y'all out there in PG and y'all need something, ask mommy. Mommy will take care of you while you out there. But when you're in Baltimore, I'm not expecting you to reach to mommy to ask her for anything in PG. I'm going to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of in Baltimore, because in Baltimore, I am primary. Mommy is secondary. In PG, mommy is primary, I'm secondary. And again, while they're not with me, I'm not necessarily in this. I definitely respect her. No disrespect to her whatsoever. I'm looking at my Lord and trusting in my Lord to take care of them while they're not with me. And I have a peace in that, because I know that He can do all things but fail. So I'm just saying that for your encouragement, and for anybody else that's watching, for your encouragement as well. And I know it's not easy. I've been there. But I'm telling you what I had to do to deliver myself from the thoughts, the emotions, and the self-talk. Yeah, that's what I had to do. So be encouraged, good brother. You always lean on me, man. I love it.
Love you too, bro.
Yeah, that's real. So all is well, champ. Be encouraged, man. Be encouraged. I need you, brother.
Yeah, I ain't going. You already know. I ain't going. It's another. I would say another obstacle into for growth.
Yeah.
Just be crazy sometimes, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I get it. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the live. You can hold on for 1 second. I'm gonna give a couple more shout outs real quick. Sim, salute. Thanks for checking in. The artist, salute. Thanks for checking in. Jackie, thanks for checking in. Alyssa, thanks for checking in. Lemon, thanks for checking in. Ronald Thomas, salute, salute. Thank you, sir. Marcos, thanks for checking in as well. Patty, Martha, thanks for checking in. Angie, thanks for checking in. Dwayne, thanks for checking in, good brother. Leaks, thanks for checking in. Louis, thanks for checking in. Betty Hernandez, thanks for checking in. Tracy, thanks for checking in. KG, thanks for checking in as well. Appreciate you guys. And Lord willing, we're going to do it again next week, man. Salute. JJ, salute, good brother. We need to catch up. All right, man. Peace. All right. Let me shut this down real quick. Put this replay on. Minimize. All right.